Let me get my skin up close just so you guys can see. Maybe this is considered like de-influencing. I don't know, or influencing. Only you will be able to tell me in the comments which one it is. Hi guys, I have not told you guys this on here, but I have been sober since May 20th, 2024. Sober, or rather not drinking. I'm trying to find the right language for it, or alcohol free. I think that's what the actual language is for it, because I read somewhere that sober is when you maybe were struggling with alcohol addiction, and now you have committed to being sober in your life, versus somebody like me. I did not have an alcohol addiction. I just decided to cut it. So now I'm just alcohol free. I think that's the correct way to speak about this. This is a video to essentially talk to you guys about the benefits that I have experienced in the last year and change from removing alcohol from my life. So as I said, May 20th, 2024 is when I decided to make that chop. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a full year that I was going to do it for, but I knew that it needed to be at least 30 days. 21 days to make or break a habit. That's just something I know about regardless. I do that with pretty much everything in my life that I want to either enhance or take away from my life. But I just knew that I wanted to see what 30 true days were like. Now, did I have any kind of alcohol problem? No. Did I struggle with alcohol? No, not in my opinion, but nonetheless, I am a social drinker. Like, I loved a social setting and having a little drink, a little cheeky drink. I'm notorious for, oh, the sun is out, let's go find a good happy hour. Me and my girls could easily do that. And I've had many great days like that. Like, oh, let's go to dinner and order a bottle. We really love this wine. Let's just get a bottle and split it. And I'm a lightweight in truth. I'm a tiny girl. For those of you who have seen me in real life, or maybe you have not seen me in real life, I am petite, okay? So I genuinely don't necessarily need a lot of alcohol to feel the effects of it. Not that that has a true correlation to being small, but I just know that within myself, that I don't need a lot of alcohol in order to feel the effects of alcohol. And so yes, if I'm having a cheeky day, if I'm like me and my girl and like, oh, we've had a great day, let's go get some sangria or something like that. Listen, it's about 1.5 drinks before I'm feeling real tipsy. And maybe in those times I might be like, oh, instead of having 2, let's have 3. So I can indulge. I'm a real treat yourself type of girly. So I knew that about myself, and those things, as much as they were fun, I didn't like the effects on it. Like, I didn't like waking up the next day feeling a little hungover or just a little sluggish because the night before I was just having a cheeky drink or having a fun time with my friends. Or I would see the bloat on me. I could see it in my skin, I could see it in my body, all of those kinds of things. Also, I've told you guys many times on here, I have PCOS. And so oftentimes when you're thinking about how to manage your PCOS, it has to do with sugar intake, with alcohol intake, all of those kinds of things. And so in fair, was alcohol all the way bad for me? No, but was it good for me? No. Like, it's literally a poison. I started to kind of see it as this thing, as kind of being like, why am I drinking? Why am I feeling like I need to do this thing, especially because it is very social for me. During the pandemic, I, like everybody else, was definitely increasing my alcohol, like a Friday night, because you're just gonna be inside. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go get a great bottle of red. All of these things, I just kept feeling like, okay, is this something that's like a necessary thing? So as I said, I wanted to start with 30 days. And after I hit the 30 days, then I was like, well, maybe we can see how much more we can kind of keep going. And so then at that point, your body now kind of gets used to the fact that you're not drinking. And even socially, I still would go out, I still went to my events, I still would hang out with friends, all of those kinds of things, and I didn't necessarily need a drink. I realized too that if I kind of ordered a good mocktail, made one myself, if there wasn't a good one on the menu, that could easily be some kind of soda water, ginger beer, a squirt of lemon, things like that. then I also felt like I was having a drink, and that was good enough for me. But the biggest thing that I gained in this time, more than anything, and this is all vanity, was my skin. People have complimented my skin like nobody's business. And so you guys can see in this video, this is why I didn't even wanna like de-shine myself. I naturally have oily skin in my T-zone and all of that kind of stuff, but I actually like a glowy skin look, so I never shy away from it. I actually lean into it. But more than anything, my skin has been the clearest it's ever been, and people compliment my skin on a regular basis. Now, don't get me wrong, genetically, like my parents have great skin, so genetically, like my skin was gonna be pretty cool, but in comparison to when I was drinking Andrea versus not drinking Andrea, the compliments that I get on my skin has like tripled in people just bringing it up and asking me about it, or asking me like what I'm doing or what I'm using. And my skincare routine has become less and less and less in terms of products. I'm like, you know, wash your face really well when you're wearing makeup. I don't know, some kind of cleanser, some kind of, I don't even know, I'm not consistent. Like I can't even tell you guys any actual products, but the one thing I can tell is just like what you're putting on the inside, or taking away the things that are harming your skin. And for me, the less drinking that I did in general, I would see the effects on my skin. Then also now taking it away altogether, my skincare just went crazy. And it was just like the true highlight for me was not only having clear skin and better skin, but also just even youthfulness to your skin in a way that I wasn't experiencing before. And so that has been the biggest gift. Having a late night and not waking up the next day feeling groggy, I cannot tell you how good of a feeling that actually is. Going out with your friends, having a good time, being just as social, and then also having a good night's rest and not that crazy roller coaster ride that you feel when your head hits the pillow because you've had too much to drink. Oh my God, I'm so grateful that I do not experience that anymore. And so now that I've gone a year plus, I'm like, I don't know when the next time will be that I'll ever pick up a drink. I just know that I love the way I feel right now, which is very clear-headed, very good. I'm still just as social. I'm still having just as much fun. But what fascinates me is when you tell people you're not drinking. At first, people are like, why? Like they think something's wrong. It also affects them. Like if you're just doing a one-on-one with somebody and you say you're not drinking, it's always like, oh, okay. And they may not drink. And I'm always like, no, if you feel like drinking, drink. One of my best friends is actually a sober person. She's been sober for 8 years. So I'm actually used to being around somebody who's not drinking at all. And so now I think it actually feels better, like when we're in a group, that there's just two of us who genuinely are not drinking and everybody else has somebody there. But it has surprised me just how much it does like ruffle people's feathers when you say you're not drinking. Then the shocking question of just kind of like, why? I was at brunch with a girlfriend, and I ordered this mocktail, and the table beside us was a couple, and they were like, oh, what are you drinking? Because the drink looked really great. It was a mocktail though. And I told them, and then I was like, oh, but it's a mocktail. And it was a guy and a girl. The guy was like, why are you not drinking? And I was like, oh, and my friend right away was like, she doesn't drink. And I was like, yeah, I haven't been drinking. I stopped drinking a year ago. And the girl was like, oh, same. I've actually been 9 months without alcohol. Today's my birthday. I'm thinking about having my first drink. And I was like, wait, you're gonna have a drink right now? Like, oh, I was like, I would just take it easy if I were you, because you haven't had a drink in 9 months. And we were both, my friends and I, were very disappointed, because the guy she was with was like, don't you feel the need to turn up? Like, how are you able to go out and have fun? And myself and the girl that was beside us was like, oh, like I realized in this time that I actually don't need these things. And it actually made me feel better. Like, and I was like, how disappointing though to be across the table from somebody and they're actually not in support of you picking up a better habit. I have realized in this time there's a bit of a social experiment in recognizing that when you take away something that is very acceptable socially that you say you're not doing, it does kind of evoke these kind of unexpected emotions amongst the people that you are with. But more than anything, it just kind of confirms you getting closer to who you naturally are, because you're not giving into the peer pressure, to the discomfort of others. You're kind of standing in exactly what you are. And also the people around you that truly love you and truly support your growth and who you're becoming also have no problem with the change. They see nothing of it. They will get drunk. They are going to have a great time. Their time has nothing to do with what you are consuming in your body. But more than anything, if you are thinking about cutting out alcohol, if you are sober curious, I will say this: so many places now have really great mocktails on their menu. I've even seen alcohol-free wines. I've had at least 2 alcohol-free wines that I actually genuinely enjoyed. One made out of tea, the other one, I can't remember what it was made out of, but I've had a variety of these drinks, and they are really great. Do I think though that some of them should be the same price as the real alcoholic drink? No, so that's another discussion for another day. But it's, to me, a good transition out of alcohol in social settings if you're feeling some kind of way to only be drinking water or whatever it is and everybody else has some kind of cocktail. So that part, you won't be like alone. Every event, every restaurant I've gone to in the last little while, no matter the city, does have some kind of option for somebody like me. Then at the exact same time, you genuinely will feel better. I really, like, I know I've met people like that in my past that were like, oh, I just feel better. I actually really get it. You really, really, really feel better. And then your skin. Your skin will thank you later. So you guys are seeing me, as you can see, I got some highlight on and things like that. I got mascara and my eyebrows filled in because girl barely has eyebrows. However, my skin is really thanking me for cutting alcohol, and I'm thanking myself for sticking to it, because it is one of those things that a year and a half, 2 years ago, if you had asked me if I was ever gonna do something like this, I probably would have told you no. I would have told you I don't really have a problem and so I don't really need to do it. And then just one day it just kicked into me that I didn't need it anymore, and that if I really wanted to see true growth for my body, for my mind, for every part of me, and the next phase of my life that I'm going into, that I was going to need to do these little tweaks and stop thinking of myself as Mrs. Perfect, and also just say, hey, let's clear up some things. And I cannot tell you the amount of compliments that I get on my skin on a regular basis from people, just in terms of, and I can tell they can see it from the inside out. And so that is the way that I am hoping to either influence you, de-influence you, whatever the saying is, so that you can think about it if you have been sober curious. If you have, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts have been for being sober in this next little while, because I find it a fascinating topic, and now I'm like, who knows when I'll ever have a drink again. But either way, I really like where I am heading. Anyway, my name is Andrea Lewis. This is my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you want to chat about on my next video. Bye.